Ladies and gents, welcome to Nose in Front, day one tips for Cheltenham Festival. We're back, babies, and we're going to dive straight in. First race, the Raw, the Supreme, sips all round. So, Luca, why don't you kick us off here? I know you have some thoughts. Ballyburn at the top of the market. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think Ballyburn's rightful favourite, done nothing wrong, but there is one horse that has beaten him. And that's Firefox, 9-1, and I think it's good each way price. Stepped up to 2.5, but lost that back down to 2. Should be good.
Yeah, fair. I think at that point Mullins' horses weren't firing, so I'm not sure we can take that in isolated context. I think Ballyburn is rightful fave for me, and I think if he comes here, you won't get 7-4 on the day, and I think he will come here. I am still got a soft spot to Jericho de Repene, 12-1. I don't think he'll be out the places, and I think he'll push her a point up top. How about you, no thoughts?
Well, I'm going for the other JP McManus horse of Mystical Power. He won the, what race did he win last time out? The Moscow Flyer, and I thought that was really impressive. He beat a horse which was also then in behind Tully Hill the last time out as well. He's the third choice Willie Mullins horse, which is fine. I'm always a fan for backing the second or third.
I'm worried with the Jagoro form, like you talked about. I don't think it's very strong. And I think Mystical Power, with Jericho de Repene in this race, Mystical Power ends up in the Berry Bingham.
Yeah, that's my worry. So I'd probably play him no run and no bet, but at 13-2, I think he's a nice each way play.
Fair. The only other one I'll mention is Mr. GIF for the double green. I think he's available around 25, so I managed to have a cheeky little 100-1 on him. Don't mind if you do. He's only had one run this season. He reminds me a lot of a horse called Diverge that we backed each way in this last year. I managed to pick up third. We love the double green here at NIF. And he's got yeah, he's got to be in with a chance. I think at 25s, yeah, go on, have a poke. Next up we have the Arkle, a horse in this race who, at the top of the market and very special to us. We had a big win on him in day one last year, and we're coming back for more. Our little yellow submarine, Marine Nationale. Luca, surely he can do it again.
Yeah, I think definitely has the form and previous Cheltenham form. I think he put a line through the last one. For whatever reason, he wasn't tuned up, but the Arkle's the big day. That's what he's there for. He's not doing anything else, and I think, Barry will get him right as he always does.
Bazza knows how to work him,
and he'll come swinging.
But you have someone who might contend with our yellow submarine.
Well, he might contend, but we want Marine first, and we'll take Hunter's Yarn to be second for the mighty Willie Mullins. He ran at Cheltenham last year. I'd probably put a line for that again, like Marine Nationale. But since coming over fences, he's been really, really smart. He's 2 from 2, but he's got some serious pace to him. He kind of reminds me of the mighty El Fabiolo. The Meunier Mullins going back-to-back in the Arkles, 23-24.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I think at a price as well, 10-1, similar for me is Quilixios. He's won 2 races a year. The only one he didn't was when he was very strangely stepped up to 3 miles, which I don't really get. He's got Cheltenham form, won the Triumph Hurdle here a few years back.
2021.
2021. That was a few years back. And I think, yeah, he's got to be in with a shot. I can't be having Gaelic Warrior even if he turns up. No thanks. All this shrewd chat about JPR1, nope. And Founder 50, good horse, but
I think,
not for me.
JPR1's the best English horse in the race, but...
Probably the only.
Probably going to be there.
Yeah, true. Well, you got to be in it to win.
Yeah.
And I think Ilete Tom doesn't run well at Cheltenham. Same happened last year at DRF and then again at Cheltenham. I think he won't run his race. And I like Founder 50, but I don't think the price is there. I'd side with Quilixios at a price.
Yeah, so I think Marine and maybe a couple of savers on Hunter's Yarn and Quilixios for us in the Arkle.
The feature race of the first day is the Champion Hurdle. And we don't need to spend too long talking about it because potentially probably the biggest horse in racing at the moment. Constitution Hill heavy odds on 1 to 4 will win, and it depends by how far.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think this race serves much purpose. I think it'll be Constitution Hill with Stateman following in second. And I guess we're probably here to try and tell you who'll come third. Maybe have a punt on Zarek the Brave. I don't know.
I'd have it in a match bet against Not So Sleepy. If the rain comes, Sleepy wakes up. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah. But yeah, if you back Constitution Hill, I've managed to get him in a treble at 6 to 5, which isn't that great. But it's not a race for bettors. It's one to sit back, relax,
grab yourself a Guinoir and just
watch Constitution Hill.
Witness greatness.
Yeah.
History.
Exactly.
History in the making.
So yeah, Constitution Hill 1, Stateman 2. Boring, we know, but that's what it is.
Next up is the Mares Hurdle, and the current market favourite is Lossiemouth. She's looked absolutely fantastic this season. She won last time out over course and distance. No, not over distance, sorry. She's actually going to be stepping up, which I think has people question marking it.
Yeah, not for me. It is really simple, this one. She wins, and she wins going away. Do you know what? Fair play. Astro Diamond is a very good horse, and I can't knock Astro Diamond at all. But Lossiemouth wins this, and she wins it well. I cannot see a world in which she doesn't.
That's fine. So who's in behind?
Who's in behind? Oh, well, Astro Diamond, I think, probably comes second.
Who's up her backside?
I think Nello has one that he particularly likes to follow her home.
I do, and it's Magical Zoe. It's a bit annoying she didn't win her last race, because I think she would be a bit shorter than she is now, and I think there's a few question marks on whether she might go to...
You want her shorter?
I would prefer her shorter, because...
Surely you want the value.
Well, I want the value 16s, but I think there's now a question mark she'll go to a handicap as well, which is slightly concerning. But this has been a horse that's always been in the De Bromhead's shortlist for their favourite horses within the yards. Connections have always tried to, or have targeted this race for the season, so at 16 to 1, I think she's got a good chance. She ran in the Novices division last year. Step up and trip should hopefully suit.
Yeah,
I do think we are forgetting a horse that came in behind the Queen last year, Love Envoy.
I'm not forgetting it. I just, after that run at Cheltenham, I can't see it be knocking on the door of Lossiemouth for me personally.
I'm not saying it's knocking on the door. I just think at 16s, considering the race last year and how that panned out, it was literally went over the last neck and neck with Honeysuckle. And at 16s, I don't think it's a bad price. I'm not saying it will win. I just think it's clearly a proven mare's hurdler.
Yeah, fair. I just think I think it's possibly she's had a day. This year has been nothing but a disappointment for her. Losing to Not So Sleepy at Sandown, I think it was when we were there. So yeah, I get the angle. It's not a bad place bet, but she's just not. She's not someone I can see. And Marie's Rock can get to Pierce, and Galamarceau, unfortunately,
Hasn't been quite the same.
Hasn't really looked the same. But yeah, Lossie to the moon for me.
And then it's trying to find who's second and third.
So, to round off day one, we have the slogfest, that is the National Hunt Chase. Now, this is a race I know you're a bit keen on, Luca. There's a horse that may or may not go. Tell us more.
Yeah, it's been an interesting one. It was touted heavily by Mullins when he came over from France. Nick Rocket, that is, for all you wondering. And he has been constantly stepping up in trip, and it was this was his target, but they also have Embassy Gardens in the race, which makes things a bit more difficult.
And he lost to Embassy Gardens.
Yes.
Last time out.
No, he lost to American Mike last time out.
Oh, sorry, yes.
And which it was a good race. I think he ran his race. He didn't do anything wrong. I think American Mike ran a great race over 3 miles.
Good horse, Irish national.
And I'd still back Nick Rocket at a price. I think the ones it's such a hard race to back up.
You just got to go non-running no bet. If he turns up, he's got a chance.
Yeah, I think he's got a good chance. It was just all the talk when Mullins got hold of him. I think this was always the aim, to go to Cheltenham at some race, whatever it may be. But I think National Hunt Chase should be his race. So
right, and I know there's another one that you quite fancy in this, in Nello, for those watching, is a big fan of the old green and gold.
You might catch on to that.
Yeah.
Yes, so mine is Corbett's Cross. Some of you might have PTSD from last year when he ran out at the last, which is for us quite funny. For horse welfare, not funny, but from a punting standpoint, horse is fine, so that's all right. But he's been really solid this season. I think he's been really quite well.
Unfortunate fall last time out, but not necessarily.
Yeah, he was taken out, so that's not really an issue. I think the step up and trip will suit. He's always been kind of punted as a bit of a staying type. So this 3 mile 6 around Cheltenham will suit him very well, and I think
got a chance.
He's got a chance.
I think very interestingly about Corbett's Cross, why I probably would side with him. Interesting tidbit is Corbett's Cross was bought by JP and his owners because they loved Fact to File so much, and Corbett's Cross beat Fact to File. So one, it shows how much they speak about Fact to File. We'll go on to that later. But I think obviously he's clearly I think Corbett's Cross is a very talented horse. It seems to be the jumping and a lot of things kind of need to fall in line for him to get it.
Got one other stat I'm going to throw at you lads.
Yeah, go for it.
So JP's won this race 5 times. He hasn't entered a horse in this race in the last 5 years. He's been put here for a reason.
That is interesting. I think if I had to pick between the two of you, I would be signing with Corbett's Cross, but it's not a race.
I have another one I can throw into the mixer.
Yeah, go on, chuck it in.
Again, might not
Broadway
run.
Boy.
Might not run. Indeed, it is.
Yeah, it's good. I like it as well.
His stats over 3 miles read 1-1-2-1.
Do you reckon he gets the 3 mile 6 though?
I think that will only benefit.
Okay, good.
Benefit the boy.
Okay, I agree. I think the longer he goes, the better he is.
And that would be my 12. Both the Rocket and the boy are 12.
I think if you compile there, we're looking at your win bet is on Corbett's Cross, and if you're playing each way, we're looking at Nick Rocket, Broadway Boy. Neither might go, but in a non-runner, no-bet market where you can get above 10s, I think that's the ticket for us there, kids. Stay safe, stay sexy.